loved the cookie recipe video that I put out just a few short weeks ago, and we are getting very, very close to Christmas. I think when you see this, it's gonna be all of like 2 or 3 days until Christmas. But I wanted to give you some last minute, super, super easy holiday desserts. I think it has 2 cookie recipes, my Rice Krispy recipe that's all over TikTok, a pie and a cake. And I've made this cake for birthday and New Year's, just not exactly this version because I'm gonna turn it Christmassy with peppermint. I've always wanted to and I'm going to. Otherwise, ignore the voice. Yes, my lovely children have brought home some kind of plague from school and it has hit me the week of Christmas. That's awesome for me. I don't care, I'm still going. I used yesterday to rest, today we bake. And when I say last minute and easy, the 2 cookie recipes I'm gonna do first, and they are both shortcut recipes. The first cookie recipe, we are going to use any peanut butter cookie dough you wanna use. Homemade, this stuff, the thing from the bag, I don't care. But we're going to use a peanut butter cookie dough recipe to start. Sam's Club has one of my favorite cookies that come out this time of year, but it's in one of them giant trays, and I think there's only 8 of them in the whole tray of like 48 cookies or something like that, which is so stupid. It is a chocolate chip peanut butter cookie, and that's what I'm gonna try and recreate with that dough, some peanut butter chips and some chocolate chips. Get that out of there. See how long it says, 10 to 14 minutes. Outside of the dough. Reshaping the dough. I'm gonna shove these on the top like this. I've never tried to do this and doctor this dough this level, but this is my first attempt. I think I found the best method that I like. So what I've been doing is taking this, shoving one of these peanut butter chips inside each side of this, like a dice, and then putting some chocolate chips, about like 4 or 5 of them randomly, into the dough. You're gonna mess up your shape, but then just push it back together, roll it around, and it pushes the chips into the dough. Then I take the 3 chocolate chips and I push them on top. That's what I've been doing with all of them except these 2 right here. So we'll see if it makes a difference. Here's the last one. I put the rest of the other 12 pieces of dough in the fridge so they stay cold, because the longer I'm working with them, they're getting really sticky. This I'm gonna put in the oven for 10 to 14 minutes. I'll let you know. This was the 12-minute mark. They look and smell incredible. Transferred to a wire rack to cool. These are the 2 that were not altered as much as the rest of them. And I will say, they don't look just like you put the square on the pan and baked it. It shows that you did put more effort into these. They look very much homemade. Just this was like an extra 5 minutes worth of work, but I have a feeling this is gonna be very worth it. While those cool back there, I'm going to do the same thing to the other 12, and then I will show you one once they cool down before moving on to the next cookies. Got it, focus on the cookie. It is so pretty. And then, let me see about the texture inside. Oh, beautiful. Oh, and the melty chocolate, that's my favorite. Okay, love how that turned out, and my husband's favorite combo is chocolate peanut butter. I gotta make sure to save some of these from the tiny kids for when he gets home later, because he's going to love these. Those were so good. On to recipe number 2 though, we are going to doctor this pre-done sugar cookie mix. You can use the little non-Perel sprinkles. You can use regular Jimmy style sprinkles. I prefer just good old standing sugar on the outside of these, but again, you do whatever sprinkles you want to do. But put your sprinkles, whatever you're using, into a bowl. Sprinkles are all mixed together. Now this cookie is gonna go real quick. We are using a muffin tin because these cookies last year and the year before spread out too far for me. So this is gonna stop that. And this might be an unnecessary step, I don't know, but I'm doing it anyways. Take one of the doughs, take your sprinkles, roll it and push it in here till it's fully coated, and then just put it right in the middle of the muffin tin. Do that with all of them. All 24 are done. We're gonna pop this in the oven. Now while this is in the oven, these right here, the candy cane Hershey Kisses, you need to count and unwrap 24 of these. As soon as they come out of the oven, that's when you're going to want to start placing these just right in the middle and push down a little bit. Getting them out of here is the part that's scaring me a little bit because this is gonna get melty really quick. Ooh, ooh, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. I already can't get those 2 out without completely destroying them. and I even greased the muffin tins a little bit, but it's destroying the cookies. Do I have all 24? Yes. Are they pretty? Kinda. A few of them did stay completely intact, so I'm grateful for that. So this one right here is good, but the ones way back there are definitely not. So more cooking spray, and this one will work just fine, or you could put these on the pan and bake them like normal peanut butter blossoms, and as soon as they come out of the oven, pop the little Hershey Kiss on, and you're good to go that way if you want to skip the muffin pan, because these are so good. I make these every single Christmas since I found those candy cane Hershey Kisses. They're just delicious. And one of the best things is that Hershey Kiss will stay melty the entire time that you're eating this. If you eat them probably within the first like 15 or 20 minutes of making them, it'll still be melty. Just look at it, so good. At Thanksgiving time, I make a really good chocolate pie because my dad doesn't like any of the other ones, so I make the chocolate pie for him. That's what I'm holding in my hand here, is the stuff for the chocolate pie. I've always wanted to do a peppermint version of it, but since it's Thanksgiving, I just do chocolate. Well, it's Christmas time, and I'm gonna make a peppermint version. Chocolate pudding, instant in the box. Do not substitute the family box. It is not the same size. 2 of this, what is it, 13.9 ounce box. 2. I break out the stand mixer for this one. You see that pile right there on the dining room table? That is all the stuff I'm gonna be baking with today. So if you see a mess back there, it's not actually a mess, it's baking supplies. For this recipe, you're going to need the big box, the 32 ounce of heavy cream. You're going to use 3 cups now, and the other cup that's in here later in like 3 or 4 hours from now. There's 2. All right, and the last cup. Once you start mixing this, it's going to get very thick very quickly.
Oh my Oreos.
See what I meant? Really thick, and it was like 30 seconds. Okay, scrape that. As difficult as it is, scrape it back into the bowl. An entire 8 ounce container of Cool Whip is gonna go in there now. Baking with kids, yes, you just saw I gave her the lid with a tiny bit on it to lick. Now we just mix some more. I want to make this peppermint like I said, but I've never done this, so I'm guessing, and I'm going to use half a teaspoon at first, and then I will sample it and see if it's got enough. I like peppermint. I want this to actually taste like peppermint, so I'm gonna go a little bit more, again, probably almost to a full teaspoon. But like I said, start with a half and test it for your liking, because you can go ahead and eat this at this stage. I completely forgot to do the pie crust first. So this is 4 tablespoons of butter I need to melt. And then finely crush in your mixer, food processor, whatever you have, crush some Oreos, regular, holiday, I don't give a crap. Just crush up about 25 Oreos. 4, 8, 24. 1 for good measure. Into the crumbs, pour your melted butter. And you guessed it, I want this to be pepperminty, so I'm gonna put a splash of this into the crust itself. Pour this into the pie pan. Press it into the pie pan and up the side. I gently like spoon it in and put it down, slowly just pushing it from the center out so I don't break the crust. Plastic wrap this, stick this in the fridge a good 3-4 hours if you've got it. I had intentions on making all 5 treats in one day, and that kind of failed because last night we decided to go Christmas light looking and do some family stuff. So I made 2.5 of the desserts, and I'm finishing the pie now and doing the cake and the Rice Krispy treats. My voice sounds worse, but I feel better. That's always the weird thing. And then you can see him dangly doing there from the fan. And they had snow on the fan and it went everywhere this morning. I left it on the table, but I already vacuumed the floor because it was everywhere. You could still see it a little bit on the couch because I only slightly vacuumed the couch. And then the kids keep playing with all the snow, and they had the cute little note. I'll clean this up as the rest of the day goes, but I definitely want it off the carpet so they didn't track it all through the house. The first one I'm gonna get started with, I'm gonna have Brianna help me. This is a Nothing Bundt Cakes copy cake of their chocolate chip, and I'm going to turn this into an Andy's chocolate chip bundt cake because that's their little special buntlet for December, so I'm gonna try and make my own. 1 box of Devil's Food Cake. I like the Duncan Hines, and it is slightly bigger than the others. No, that does not matter. 4 eggs, crack them into something else first, then put them in.
Uh-oh.
That's why, right there.
I messed up. It's not my fault.
No, it's just cracking
I
eggs.
got shell in there.
Yep. Oh, no, use the shell. Use the shell to get the shell.
No, you water your fingers and then you grab it out.
Or that. You could do it either way, but you can use the shell to get the shell. Just like so. Ew, there's egg on my finger. While she freaks out over egg, 1/2 cup of water. Vegetable oil or canola oil, either one, 1/2 cup. 1 cup of sour cream. I have the big one and it's like slightly over the halfway mark, so I do have to measure this out. Put the whole cup in. 1 box, it is the little 3.9 one of instant chocolate pudding. All right, now we just mix this up. That's my ground beef cooking if you hear that noise in the background. At this point, you would stir in 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. I'm gonna stir in chopped Andes candy instead. Whole package of Andes has been chopped up into small little bite size. We're gonna put these in, whole package. If I didn't say that already. Just on the lowest setting, just mix this for 1 little second. That's enough. The pan is horrible for the cake sticking. I've tried the butter, I've tried the oil, I've tried the flouring, it doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna really go at it with the pan. And then just put the whole thing into your pan.
This is such a fast and easy process.
Apparently it takes 2 people. This is a super, super thick batter. Like it's not going anywhere. Into the oven, the recipe has like 45 minutes to 50 minutes. I think the last time I made one of these for my birthday, it was right around the 50-minute mark. But check it with either a toothpick or knife. Go pretty deep in there, and if it comes out clean, it's done. This is the 50-minute mark. So now this has to cool for about 10 minutes in the pan, then onto a wire rack. The cake is cooling. Let's move into the Rice Krispie treats. I have one of my big pots on medium, getting it warm. 3 tablespoons of butter, and get that in there and melt that down. I'm using the holiday color one. You can use normal Rice Krispies. You can even use the frosted Rice Krispies or the Cocoa Krispies. All are delicious. I like the mini marshmallows. I've just learned they melt better. While the butter's melting, go ahead and measure out 6 cups of this so you can work fast. Have some mini M&Ms ready and some Christmas sprinkles. That way you could just do this all in one hurry, and the marshmallows and the chocolate won't melt too much. I just threw the marshmallow into the butter, and I'm just gonna keep moving this around until it completely melts. But I have everything else completely ready to go. 6 cups back here. I reserved a cup of the mini marshmallows. I need to open these. It just finished completely melting. Turn off the heat. Throw in all the Rice Krispies. Mix that up. When it's partially mixed, throw in your marshmallows, your sprinkles, and as much candy as you want. Do it with your heart. And then quickly mix this up away from the heat. Generously spray. And then get it out of that pot as quick as you can, and that's the trick to everything staying all nice and melty, but without the candy ruining. The worst part about Rice Krispie treats, cleaning this pan. Trick for this, spray your hands, and nothing will stick to you to clean it off the spoon. Parchment paper, if you want to, spray it too, but you can use that to push everything down into an even layer. And there they are, beautiful. Let these cool completely before cutting, but I've had these go absolutely nuts with like millions of views over on TikTok. These are delicious. The extra marshmallows, I think, is what really does it because it gives it more of the marshmallowy pull. These are so good. I'm impatient. I don't wait for them to fully harden, but just look at how beautiful these turn out. Oh, I just dropped candy. But look how beautiful these turn out, and they have that melty pull. Let's do the whipped cream for the peppermint chocolate pie. This container from earlier when we made the pie, just finish off the rest of it into your stand mixer with the whisk attachment. 1/4 cup powdered sugar. Supposed to be 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'm trying to make this thing pepperminty, so I'm doing my teaspoon of the peppermint. Go until stiff peaks. This is basically the consistency you're going for. And actually, that's not overkill on the peppermint. But if you do not want a strong peppermint, I would go maybe 1/2 teaspoon vanilla, 1/2 teaspoon of the peppermint. Unwrap it, cover it in your whipped cream. So don't be skimpy. Go ahead and like lay it on there. To make the chocolate pie pretty, I have a Hershey bar. This is the same one I used from when I made the pie at Thanksgiving time. Take a vegetable peeler, take the bar, and just shave it. That's all I'm doing is shaving the chocolate bar. You could do fat curls, you could do a smaller spot and do thinner little curls, however you want to do it, and just cover the bar or cover the pie using little shaves of the bar. If I had like peppermints, like Andy's mints, I would shave those, but I don't have any left over from making the cake earlier. Here is what the pie looks like. I'll show you once we cut a piece, but that's the pie. I just showed you the chocolate pie, and I'm gonna be frank, I don't feel like icing this thing. I'm just going to cover it with powdered sugar and call it good. I will put the icing recipe with this in the bottom. It is a knockoff of the Nothing Bundt cakes, and I wasn't going to do anything special to the icing to make it peppermint because this is just Andy's inside here. I didn't use any peppermint extract or anything, so this was going to be just a subtle hint of the peppermint. But I mean, this alone with some powdered sugar is going to be delicious. I'm gonna cut this and the other pie to still show you those. I cut a slice of the Bundt cake so you can see the texture, and it's just absolutely beautiful. Very much a chocolate cake with just a hint of peppermint. If you don't like your desserts being too like sickeningly sweet, yes, skip the icing on this because the icing is a cream cheese based one and it is very, very sweet. This has just a hint of sweetness, but mostly like this is just absolutely fantastic, just like this. This is the kind of pie that looks pretty in the pan. It does not look very pretty on the plate, but I can smell the peppermint. I'm so excited, I'll let you know. Delicious. This is still one of my favorite chocolate pie recipes ever, and adding peppermint just give it a little bit of festiveness. You don't need to add the peppermint. I use this for Thanksgiving and I don't do peppermint like I said, but just doing it was, like, it's something special because I did add it in all the layers, so it's in the crust and the filling and the topping. So Peppermint City, but so good. But there are 5 more holiday desserts. You can make them whether you want them for Christmas over the next couple days, New Year's, it doesn't matter if you make them in the middle of June. They are all delicious and super easy and approved by my family. They are all so, so good. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it and have a wonderful Christmas or whichever holiday you're celebrating, and a fantastic New Year. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.